Welcome to the Goalie Training Pro Kitchen, and these are the supplements I approve for the goalies that I work with. Welcome back to Goalie Training Pro TV. Maria Mountain here. I am an exercise physiologist and I specialize in off-ice training for hockey goalies. And let's start with this. The key to your success is doing the right training on the ice and off the ice. Eating actual real food to fuel your training, getting sufficient sleep, staying hydrated, learning how to work your mental muscle. There's no potion pill, protein powder that's going to overcome poor training, poor nutrition, poor sleep, or poor mindset. If you do not have those pieces in place first, then save your money. So we're going to talk about the supplements that I approve of. I'm not a huge supplement proponent, but I do think they have their place and their value. We're going to start with a greens supplement. I use the AG1 from Athletic Greens, but there are other ones on the market that do different things. I'll probably do a little quick Science Saturday about some of the pros and cons. To me, this is sort of like taking a multivitamin as a just in case, and some people don't like the idea of that. They think, well, no, if you're supplementing with any vitamins and minerals, it should be because it's been established that you're deficient in those vitamins and minerals. Most vitamins are water soluble. The exceptions are vitamins A, D, E, and K. They are fat soluble, so they will accumulate in your body. So you need to be a little bit careful with those. The other ones, I mean, I'm sure anything can be toxic if you way overdo it, but if you're taking a multivitamin, the vitamins that aren't fat soluble that you don't need are just excreted in your urine. I also like this one because it has a ton of phytonutrients, so just greens, spirulina, spinach, just nutrient dense greens put in a powder form that I can take in one scoop. Also has probiotics and prebiotics in it. That's another topic I'm going to do on a Science Saturday over on Instagram, the difference between those two. But basically probiotics and prebiotics help you keep a healthy gut flora. So you may not realize this, but you've got a whole little world going on in your gut and of bacteria and things that sort of help digest and eat and the foods that we eat. So, and it can have an impact on our overall health and well-being, and it's pretty fascinating when you listen to some of the stuff about the gut microbiome. So I like it for that as well. It's vegan friendly, paleo friendly, gluten free. So if you are on some sort of special diet, it fits in with that. The taste, pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say it's delicious, but it's pretty good. It's definitely drinkable. I'm also going to try out there's a BioSteel greens powder that I'm going to try out as well. It's a little more straightforward. It doesn't have quite as much of like the prebiotics, probiotics, but I might give it a whirl just to see. But for now, that's the one I use, and when athletes ask me what they should use, that's the one I usually recommend. I also love it because I've had just one time a shipment didn't come when it was supposed to. I signed up for a subscription, so it just gets automatically shipped every 3 months. But a shipment didn't come. It showed that it was sent, but it never arrived. So I sent them an email. They were super nice. They sent me out a new package right away. It got there in like a day. So really good company to deal with as well. Not the cheapest company, but really good company to work with. The next is a protein powder, and I'm a huge fan of just keeping it simple. So if somebody comes to me with a protein powder, so this is a protein powder that I use, it's a BioSteel. This is gonna look like a BioSteel commercial. It's not. I don't have an affiliate code. There's no link to click below that I get a kickback from. If I did, I'd let you know. I'd still tell you about it, but I'd let you know that I was getting a kickback, but I'm not. So the things I look for are, is it simple? If this label said like, monster mass energy explosion, and I looked at the ingredients list, and it was like all sorts of stuff that I didn't even know what it was, and even if it says it's natural source of this and that, that's not really what I'm looking for. Like this is, the ingredients in this is whey protein isolate, cocoa powder, natural flavor, sunflower lectin, xanthan gum, stevia extract, and salt. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I don't really know what lectin is and what xanthan gum is. I'm sure it's probably just to make it mix well and to give it a nice texture so it tastes milky. But you know, it's very simple. It's just basically whey protein. And for a protein powder, this is 28 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, 4 grams of carbs in 1 scoop. So that's the thing I like too, that it's just made for 1 scoop. Because someone will be like, we have 40 grams of protein, and then you have to use like 4 scoops. And it's like, no, just 1 scoop. So I like that. The other thing I like about it, it's a grass-fed source of whey protein, hormone-free, no artificial colors or flavors, and it's NSF certified for sport. So down here, this NSF certified for sport. It means that a third party tests this to make sure that what's on the label is what's in the container. Because, and so this is the only kind of stuff that's certified that I'll recommend to athletes I work with, because I don't want to be the ding dong trainer who appears on the 6 o'clock news because they said, oh, take this, and it has something in it, you know, and then the athlete tests positive because it has something in it that isn't on the label. So an athlete accidentally ingests you know, a banned substance. So we don't want to take any risks with that. This is a third party, tests it, certifies it that yes, what it says is in it is all that's in it. You're not going to test positive with that. So that's the other reason that I like it. And I'll use that for, I track my macros usually, and so sometimes I'm just a little low on protein, so I'll take that. And a lot of times I'll take it before bed. So it's just for protein, doesn't have a high carbohydrate. So the idea there is that the protein is going to stay in my system a little bit longer. It's going to be a bit slower to digest, to be absorbed, while I sleep and my body's repairing and rebuilding my muscles, making them bigger. So that is the protein powder. Then this is the BioSteel Recovery protein, and this is what I have after workouts. So it is, for 1 scoop, 250 calories, 37 grams of carbohydrate, 24 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat. So after a workout, before I go to bed, I don't really want a bunch of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are going to trigger an insulin response. Insulin is going to tell your cells to take up that nutrients pretty quickly to get it out of your bloodstream. If I'm just taking a protein powder, I kind of want it to float around there a little bit more and sort of get to where it needs to be. Post-workout, I want to get those nutrients into the cells as fast as I can. So the carbohydrate will help restore your glycogen stores, but it'll also help the protein be absorbed really quickly into your system right after a workout. When your body's kind of in a bit of a panic state, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, like we've just been traumatized, let's rebuild and repair. So I like that one. Both of these taste actually really good, and I just mix them with water. They taste delicious. This one is also NSF certified for sport. And if you need more calories, so if you're a skinny teenager who has trouble keeping your mass on during the season, you can add a tablespoon of peanut butter, a banana, lots of things to this to beef it up, to give you even more calories. But that's another one I approve of. So post-workout, you want to get some, like in the ballpark of 40 grams carbohydrate, 20 grams protein, and not a bunch of other crap and stuff in there. I am a huge fan of chocolate. I usually go straight for the chocolate. Vanilla tastes good sometimes, but then it gets to a point where it's like, I can't take the vanilla anymore. I'm interested to know what your favorite flavor of protein powder is. Who makes it? What's your favorite flavor? Or if you had a flavor that's just like, so gross, makes you throw up in your mouth a little bit. I once got like a pumpkin latte kind of thing. It was super gross. So drop a comment below, let me know your favorite, and let me know what's absolutely disgusting. I like this in chocolate. In the vegan protein powder, BioSteel's vegan protein powder, they have like a cinnamon roll one that I actually really want to try, but I'm a little bit intolerant of peas, and it uses a lot of pea protein, so I'm a little nervous there, but it'd probably be worth it for cinnamon buns. moving on. The next one is creatine. And so this is the creatine that I'm just finishing up right now. And this is the creatine that I actually just started today. The difference in these two, so this is just the BioSteel creatine. It's NSF certified for sport. This is CreaPure. So the CreaPure seal means that this creatine was manufactured in this specific factory in Germany that makes like the purest creatine. And so when you read research studies about the effects of creatine, they've used CreaPure because they can then validate the purity of it. But when I read some articles to dive a little deeper into it, it's like the typical creatine you get is 99.9% creatine. The CreaPure is 99.99% creatine, so it's kind of like, okay. So I thought I'd take a flyer on this because the CreaPure is a little bit more expensive. And I just used this today for the first time, but what I found was it actually mixed a little better. This one always you had like a little mouthful of chalk dust to drink down at the end, and this seemed to mix in a little bit better, so I quite liked it. I've done a full video on the benefits of creatine, the effects of creatine, the benefits of creatine, long-term studies on creatine. You can find it here. It is not a stimulant, it is not a steroid. So when you start taking creatine, you're not gonna feel so strong, and it doesn't work that way. It helps you with short duration repeated bursts of exercise. So it might help you get a couple extra quality reps in the gym, a couple extra quality reps when you're doing your agility training. That's how it works. There's also some research coming out that's looking at creatine and cognitive function, both in the younger and in elderly populations, and there seem to be some positive results with that. So I need to dig into it a little bit deeper because some people are even talking about it in terms of helping athletes recover from concussion, but I haven't read enough to be able to tell you, hey, yeah, this is what it shows. But that's just sort of some of the anecdotal stuff I've been hearing. So I need to dig into that a little bit deeper. But 5 grams a day is all you need. You don't need a loading phase or anything. And again, if you want to learn a little more about the long-term side effects, if there are any, the benefits, check out that video. The next one up, sport beats. So there's different things that different substances you can take that help you work harder, longer. Beta-alanine is one. I've had some athletes that use it with good results. I prefer the beets because, again, it's a little bit more of a natural type of thing. It boosts your nitric oxide in your system, and that helps you. It helps with a couple of things, with capillarization, helping your muscles work more efficiently, helping your body create more mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. So it improves your efficiency, that essentially helps you work harder, longer. And it tastes pretty good too. It's caffeine free, it's not a stimulant again. A lot of those sort of so I think this is a good pre-workout. A lot of those pre-workout drinks, they have stimulants in them, and some of them are disguised as like natural extracts. This one I like because it's just straightforward. Beets. If we're talking about electrolyte replacement, so if you're a big time sweater, not a sweater, then again, keep it simple. And you don't need a ton of sugar. It doesn't need to be blue or purple or whatever. So I like these again because they don't have artificial flavors. They don't have artificial colors. This is the BioSteel hydration mix. This is my favorite flavor. It's the peach mango. It's delicious. This is Polly's favorite flavor. It's Glacier Blanc. So like white ice or something, white freeze. Polly likes that flavor the best. Again, it has no added sugar and no caffeine. If you were doing a tournament, so this would be something you would sip, throughout a game, or to replenish after a game. If you were in a tournament, you would maybe want to add a little bit of sugar to this, to add a little bit of carbohydrate to it, just to help replenish your glycogen. That's just if you're doing like a bunch of games in a row. This is also NSF, safe for sport. Do you know what the most effective, most studied ergogenic aid basically ever in the history of man is, and it's free, it's water. That's right, water. There were a lot of studies done, and a lot were done on basketball players, and maybe because the original study was done, I think it was New Zealand basketball team, but with less than 2% of dehydration. So you wouldn't even feel thirsty. Like your body wouldn't even be saying, wow, I want to drink something. With less than 2% dehydration, their free throw shooting percentage dropped, and I'm really bad with numbers, so don't quote me, but it was something quite remarkable, like 17%. So your precision drops when you're not properly hydrated. So the key thing is water, and just drink your water throughout the day. And again, you don't need to drink 17 gallons of water, but drink enough so that during the day, your pee should look like pale lemonade. You've heard me say it before, I'll say it again. What about caffeine? So, we see hockey players come in with their big mug of coffee. And so is there an ergogenic benefit of just drinking a coffee? Because caffeine is a performance enhancing substance. It's been proven to work. It increases free fatty acid mobilization, so it lets you use fat as more of an energy substrate. A lot of the studies have been done on cycling to exhaustion studies. How does that sound? Not fun. Cycling to exhaustion studies where caffeine did help people go longer in extreme long distance. So not a hockey game, but working at a high intensity for a long time. In those studies, they used 5 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So like if you're a 60 kilo person, like I would be a 60 kilos, so it's a fairly small person, like 125 pounds or something like that. That would be 360 milligrams of caffeine that they used in the studies. I Googled how much caffeine was in a large Tim Hortons coffee, and it was 270 milligrams of caffeine. So it's a much smaller dose. There are also questions about the effect in habitual users, so someone who always drinks coffee versus people who never drink coffee. If you never drink coffee, I would not suggest you go out and have a large Tim Hortons coffee before your next game, because you'll probably shake right out of your boots if you're not used to it. Also, different genotypes, different people with different genetic sequences respond differently to caffeine. So I'm caffeine sensitive. It will make me shaky like crazy. Even when I have decaffeinated coffee, if I have it a few days in a row, I'll get shaky from it. So you also need to be sensitive how your body responds to caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant. So we don't want to say, okay, well, so a large Tim Hortons has 270 milligrams. I'm gonna have 2 of them and get, 600 milligrams or what. That's bad math, but you know what I mean. Because caffeine is a stimulant and it can impact your heart rate. Some of the energy drinks that are very high in caffeine, that has been a problem for some hockey players, and maybe it's due to an underlying heart condition or not, but it's something you should be aware of. Do not take caffeine pills. Do not take energy drinks that are high in caffeine, and some of the caffeine is disguised as a natural substance. If you like a coffee before the game, have a coffee before the game. Don't think of it as an ergogenic benefit, but just, this is part of my ritual and I like to do it. If you want to check out a super fast, delicious meal prep strategy, then you want to watch this video. It's delicious and you can mix and match. It's very easy to do. If you want to go back and check out that video I told you about on creatine, that's where to find that one. Bottom line is move the big rocks first. Make sure you're doing the right training, getting proper food and nutrition, and getting sufficient sleep. If you want to see the 3 factors that limit your performance and what to do about it, you can check out this masterclass, and I give you exact action steps to follow. It's not all you need to do, but it's a perfect start on those 3 areas. I'll give you specific action steps for each one. I'll drop that link in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe. If you already subscribed, hit the bell. If you have any questions about supplements or supplements you think that I missed out on, I keep it pretty simple, but feel free to drop a comment and I'll answer to the very best of my ability. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Same bad time, same bad channel.